Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to Tarot for Kindness. I'm not wearing Ukrainian anything today. I'm wearing all Irish thing and a weird gold Ouija board necklace, four-leaf clover earrings. Um, because it's St. Patrick's Day today, and I am like 16%, 17% Irish. I have Scottish, Irish, English from my dad, Ukrainian from my mom. So I'm entitled. I've got a little tiny bit of Irish in me. So, like many people here in the States do. How about you, Love Witch? Anything Irish?
Yeah,
Lots?
Irish, Scottish, French, English on my dad's
Oh,
side,
oh my
and
God.
then Native American, and who knows what else on my mom's side.
Oh my gosh. So we do have I guess, a little justification for being celebratory today. Although anybody can celebrate St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. You don't have to have I'm gonna fix this hat, make it cuter. All right. Now I feel like I'm in a chorus line. All right. Singular sensation. All right. So one singular sensation we're going to be doing today is doing tarot readings. If I can find my deck. Oh, there it is. We were just talking about, I was just telling the Love Witch a story of some little trivia that I found out today that I was completely fascinated with about chickens, how magical chickens are. And chickens have this thing that is a very, very rare thing in humans. Okay, so most people, they have three different types of cones in their eyes that pick up color, I think light and dark and color and something else. I don't know. I'm not sure about the details there, but there's three different kinds, right? If you are colorblind, you are missing one of those, or one of those is a little non-functional in some way. So you might have two of the three, right? And I think that's why there's different types of color blindness. Maybe there's red, green cones, or I don't know. I don't know how it works. Anyway, but there are special people who have four different types of cones, and they are called, there's a name for them, super color viewers. All of us that have three cones, that's me, you, whoever, can see 1 million different colors. These people that have the fourth cone in their eyes can see 100 million different colors. When they look at snow, when we see snow, we see white snow. They see like pastel rainbow snow.
Wow.
It's like they can see the tiny little differences between different shades 100 times more than we can. Everything is brighter, and whites and blacks even have different colors. And so I've been looking at that. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because chickens have those four normally. That's their normal thing. So
Wow.
chickens can see rainbows everywhere. Isn't that amazing? It's
That's so
amazing.
cool.
It's like they're so magical. So
When are we
anyway,
gonna get, the option to have surgery for that 4th cone?
I know. Why are they working on stupid things like social media and AI
Yes.
when they could be inventing good things like figuring out how we can all get that DNA in our eyeballs so we can see all the colors? But you know what? It's interesting is the people that have that, they say it's kind of overwhelming when you go to like a
Mm.
store because all the colors are so much. It's so much. They, I want to look at and in fact, one of the people that has this says my favorite color is white because white is actually these pastels and it's much calmer than all the bright colors that we have, like bright green hair, right? So anyway, just a little very loosey goosey tidbit there because I don't have all the details of all the names of it, but you can look up chickens. Do chickens see more colors than us? You can look that up. All right. So what we're doing today is not talking about chickens. We are actually talking about helping Ukrainian seniors. This is our Tarot for Kindness. So we meet here every Sunday, usually at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern time. We on the first Sunday of the month, we might meet like half an hour later because I teach a workshop that day, and sometimes the workshops run over an hour. So we're always kind of a little on that first Sunday, a little loosey-goosey with the time, but for us, the rest of the month, we meet here at 6 p.m. And what we do is myself and one of my colleagues at the Parlor of Wonders, we do readings for you guys. You make a donation $10 per card for the tarot reading. So you can get a 1-card reading for $10, 2 cards for 20, 3 cards for 30, 4 cards for 40, and so on. And 100% of that money goes to feed seniors in Ukraine. Now, these are people who are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. Many of them are disabled. They cannot, they have a very small pension, and they are in a war zone on top of everything else, with air raids and bombing and terror and just awfulness. So one way that we can really make a difference and bring a little bit of, I would say, it's not even like a big deal, but just to bring the food that they need to survive, is through our friends, working in conjunction with our friends at Subotin Harbor. Yulia Subotin buys groceries. She and a small team go out, they deliver these groceries. They have 200 seniors that they help every month. So every week they go out to 50. They provide 2 weeks worth of groceries, which costs about $40 in Ukraine. So if you get a 4-card reading, you're helping a granny or a grandpa. And then they deliver those groceries. It's good, healthy food, fresh food, some fruits, some vegetables, a little bit of meat, some flour, eggs, pasta, milk, just basic, so that they can cook for themselves and have something to eat. Oftentimes when they go to visit these seniors, they don't have one crumb of food in the house when they come. And these seniors are very isolated at this time. It's just awful and horrific. So this is our way of being a very direct action, very grassroots. You guys are donating so generously. We're giving you a reading just to say thank you and to help out and to sort of make this happen. And then we send that money directly over to them right after we're done here. Then it's going to be morning in a couple. Actually, it's morning right now. It's just super early in the morning. It's morning over there, and they're going to go shopping for the groceries and deliver those groceries today. So it happens in less than 24 hours. That's what I love. This is like really grassroots. Like you're not giving to, not that it's bad to give to these big organizations. When you give to a big organization, you don't know where your money goes. It could go to the CEO's salary. It could go to maintain a building. It could go to anything. It may not go directly to the people. But this is absolutely 100% going directly to the people that you're helping. We see, they take pictures of the people with the food that you purchased for them. You can see the evidence of what you're doing. It's a really, really super direct way that you can help these seniors that are really struggling and suffering during this time. So I'm so grateful to you guys that you come here every week. We do this. We have a great time. So I'll be doing tarot readings. Love Witch will be doing charm casting. And that is a little extra add-on for you while we do this reading. You can make your donation on Venmo or on PayPal or on Super Chat. If you're on YouTube, you'll see the Super Chat. It looks like a little $ below. And make those donations. Then go into the comments section. Tell us how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is. And then I'll do a reading for you. It's as simple as that. You can get it right away. And we can have fun together as well. Now, we also do, if you have a personal question that you don't want to be public, we do readings, private readings as well. Love Witch and I and others at the Parlor of Wonders can do readings for you. So, that's another option for you. But this is just our little fun way to get together, have some fun with you guys, and raise some funds, some very much needed funds for Ukraine and seniors in Ukraine who are very dear to both of our hearts. I think, well, I know Love Witch likes old people because you hang out with me. But I've been always one of those people that loves old elders. Like I love elders, even since I was a little kid.
Me
I've always
too.
loved it. Yeah.
My earliest memories are delivering Meals on Wheels with my grandma. And she was old and delivering to people who were way older than her. So you are young to me, Pamita.
I know, it's really fun. I think you're an old person in disguise because you like all the old people things like "Are you being served?" which is like from the 70s when I was a kid. All right, so Healing Mind has made a donation of $20. Thank you, Healing Mind. Thank you so much. So go ahead and if you haven't yet, go ahead and put you did put it in already. You're on top of it. I love it. So All right, let me get that in there. I'll start shuffling my cards. So your question is, will I hear back from the county job this week for a second interview? Will I get a job offer from them? Thanks. We'll look at that. We'll also look at, is there anything you can do to help it along, or what you should do during that second interview? I mean, we can answer a lot more than a yes, no with a question like that. So this is really, with cards, we can go very, very deep with tarot. We don't have to just look at a yes, no. It's not like a pendulum reading. We can really look at some more deeper information as well. All right. Let's take a look and see. All righty. It's interesting. I think that that county position, like we're looking behind the scenes, a little bit behind the scenes. I'm not sure they know what they're looking for. This is really interesting. We've got 5 of Swords showing up, and 5 of Swords is like new strategies. I think what I get from this is really that they're kind of looking, but then they've changed their mind about what they're looking for. So it's still a little in flux right now. I don't think they've made a decision yet on who they want. Will you get a second interview? It looks good for a second interview. But what I'm seeing here is like they're still not sure. They haven't made a decision. They haven't made their decisions yet. They're looking at new strategies. They thought they were going in one direction. Now they're going in a different direction. So that's what I see with 5 of Swords. Page of Cups is your second card. This looks promising for you to get a second interview. Again, I don't think they know what they want yet. I don't think they know what they're looking for. I don't think they've made a decision yet. But this looks very promising for a second interview, because this is like, especially if this job is like a kind of entry, a foot in the door kind of job, that would be very, very good. This would be very good for that. So if you're trying to get your foot in the door with the county, this is a job where there's a potential to move up, but you're at the starting level. This would be very good for you. With Page of Cups, come in with really showing them your compassion, your wanting, your earnest desire to help. Something about this tells me that this job is a helping job. And what they're looking for is somebody that they're going to like working with. I mean, we can never underestimate that aspect of job hunting. We always think about, oh, I have to have all the qualifications. And for sure, qualifications are important. But remember, what they're also looking for is someone who can play well with others, who's going to get along with the team. And in this case, with Page of Cups, somebody that they can train the way they want you to be trained. So you want to show your like flexibility, you want to show your ability to work well with others, your compassion for whatever the issue is. I mean, I don't care if it's city planning or if it's um, you know, you know, cleaning the environment or whatever. It doesn't have to necessarily be compassion for people, but it can't, it's your heart is in the job. That is the essence of it, that your heart is in the job, that you really care about the thing that they're trying to accomplish, and you are flexible and easy and flowing, and you're not going to try and come in there and tell them how it's done. You're going to go with the flow of the way they like to do it. It's very interesting because government jobs sometimes it's a slow moving machine, right? And that slow moving machine can feel like, there's all these things that are in place and rules and regulations, and you have to kind of go along with the way they like to do things. So that flexibility is going to serve you well, but also your desire to do good will also be really helpful getting this job. All righty. So what do you have, Love Witch?
I pulled this little unicorn charm. So to me, this is kind of like what you were saying about how you need to bring this element of fun and joy to your interviews so that they get the sense that you're somebody they want to be around and that you're the kind of company they want to keep and the kind of person who's going to uplift the environment. This also tells me this is a place where you really have the opportunity to soar. So I think it's a good fit. Might be a lot of red tape and it might be a slow process to get there, but this, and Pamina's reading as well, says definitely don't give up hope. And, you know, I think with government work or with any sort of work that it has a lot of like bureaucracy involved like that, it can get really excruciating to like wait for an answer. So look at this waiting to hear back period as kind of like a test run of what it would be like to work at the company, because I bet they operate at a similar speed with a lot of things. So see if you're patient. This also tells me, like, you know, this unicorn says if you end up not wanting this job, there's something even bigger and better and more fun out there too. So, you know, think about if this is what you want. But I do think there's a really, really good shot that you're going to get an offer from them soon. So hang in there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's so funny. Like I've never ever had, I'm trying to think, have I ever had a government? I've had lots of jobs. I've never had a government job, you know, but I have had friends, and it's always like you said, there's red tape, there's rules and regulations, there's, you know, they have to follow like certain things. So, for example, it's not like a small business where you can like hire your friend. They have to like post, they're you know, officially obligated to like post the job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they really don't know what they're looking for. I feel like they're undecided right now. So it may be a little slower for them to come back with that second round of interviews than, you know, we think, because I think there's confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, with all those rules and regulations and all of the things, they're just not sure what they're exactly looking for. So remember, and another thing I always say to job seekers, sorry, I'm not sitting close because the sun is in my eyes. It'll go down in a second. What I say to job seekers is when you're looking for a job, remember that look at it from their viewpoint, right? Your viewpoint is, I want this job. I want to get that paycheck. From their viewpoint, what are they looking for? They're looking for someone they like, easy to get along with, positive, going to bring good energy, has the skills, willing to learn. You know, those are, and can fulfill what we need them to fulfill. So as long as you know what they need to fulfill, that is a huge help. But also, like, it's like the attitude that you bring. I tell this to my kids when they're looking for jobs. Do they listen to me? No, they're in their 20s. Of course they don't listen to me. But it's like they're looking for a certain personality. It doesn't mean like you have to be like, hey everybody, hey, here I am. It doesn't have to be that. It's like, are you an uplifting person? Are you a positive person? Are you a determined person? I mean every job has a different kind of requirement, right? So that's what you want to be bringing that as well as all your qualifications. So make sure you're like positive and bringing your attributes to the front. You know, if you're like, oh, you know, and a downer, it's hard to get a job when you're like that. People are not, you got to put on that magnetism. Also, when you go for that job interview, put on fame and fortune oil, which is about, or magnetic attraction, that they pick you. I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people when they're looking for jobs, get steady work oil, fame and fortune, magnetic attraction. Those three oils are perfect. Fame and fortune is so they look positively on you, right? That's what you want them to do. So that can be a
Yeah,
great
you
way.
know, I've had a lot of friends with government jobs too, and they've never left. So it can't be too bad working there, right? Like they all stick around.
That's true. Everyone I know in a government job never leaves. They love those
Mm-hmm.
jobs because there was a lot of security. There's definitely good perks. I mean, you know, maybe that structure of it is comforting. I don't know if I do good. I don't know if I do good on a government
Yeah,
job.
me
I would.
either.
Uh, it would be hard for me, but I never applied for one, so I don't know. Maybe you and I are missing out. We should have got.
I
We
don't
should have done
know.
it. We
Maybe
don't
the
know the
government is
secret.
missing out.
Exactly. All right. They stick around because of the pension. Yeah, the pension can be really, really good, and it's a great way to like playing your. I guess the closest I had to a government job is I worked as a teacher and a librarian. It's not government, but I couldn't stay at that job. It was all right though, but I couldn't stay. Yeah. My favorite was teaching ESL, English to adults. Oh, that was the best teaching job I ever had. Loved teaching adults. It was so, and I do it now for my teach you guys magic, which is even better, you know? So, all righty. So what do we have next? Do we have another one? Not yet?
Not yet,
Oh,
unless
you're going to do
anyone
your
has
charm. Oh, you
donated.
did your charm. Oh, you did
I
your
did the
charm.
charm,
Sorry.
yeah. But if anyone has donated and not let us know in the chat, please let us know. Let us know how much you sent and what your question is, and we'll read for you next.
All right, great.
Um,
We also, while we're waiting for someone to do that, I can make a couple of announcements. If you were not at the Live Magic Q&A tea party, we have a whole private thing that we do right before this, and you could be joining us. It takes place every Sunday except for the first Sunday of the month. It takes place at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern time. We get together for an hour and you can ask your questions about magic, divination, law of attraction, whatever. It's a private Zoom room, so it's really lovely because we don't have any nobody knows you're doing it. Like, it's super private. Like, nobody can see that you're doing it. There's no evidence that you've done it or been there if you need to keep your magical practice private. It's also fun because we have like a little community, a great community actually of people that show up, and we hold it every Sunday except for the first Sunday when I teach a paid workshop. So if you would like to join us for the Live Magic Q&A tea party, you can do that. All you have to do is go to that QR code there. You will get the link to join us. You will also get, as a special bonus, a 33-page ebook called 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spell Work. This is a beautiful illustrated ebook that's great. Like you can read it in like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It's real fast read. But it's really giving you some great ideas on how you can work with oils, with incense, with candles, all kinds of things. What do I do if my spell goes cuckoo? What should I do? Does that mean I'm going to be cursed with bad luck for 7 years? Like answering all those questions. And here's a great little book that you can read in 15 minutes and really get a very encouraging start to your magic. Or, it's not just for beginners because it actually gives you some suggestions if you're advanced. So like if you, for example, with the oils, I've got like, everything. I have like a beginner, like I've never done magic before, beginner activity. I also have like an intermediate and then an advanced and then a mastery. Mastery for oils is like make your own oil, right? Make your own oil from scratch. But beginner is like use an oil. And this is how you use an oil. And I explain how to use it. So it really is a great way to supercharge your magic. It's like, how do we add more energy to our magic? And it's a free book that you get. If you don't want to sign up and you will be on my email list and then you'll get the link to join the thing. If you don't want to be on my email list, you can buy this book. It's $20, but you can get it for free. It's a $20 book you can get for free. So why not get it for free? And then if you want to support me and buy it for $20, I'm not going to say no, but
if you want to buy something, buy the audiobook version and get the
I do an audiobook.
free.
Yeah, exactly. You can buy the audiobook and you can listen in your car, it's me talking. Speaking of audiobooks, my tarot book, Magical Tarot, is available on audiobook now with me talking. So I'm really into like no AI voices, no fakey voices, no even, it's fine if some people don't want to narrate their own book, but I always love it when the authors narrate their book. So I was super adamant that I narrate the book. So yeah, so I am. All right, we have, I think it's Mel. Yeah, Mel has.
Yep, we have Mel, and then we have Tiffany coming up after that.
Okay, great. All right, Mel, thank you so much. All righty. Mel wants to know, is there a Monday, Wednesday meeting this week? Will I hear from Bobby soon? And anything else I need to know for the week? Great. Thank you for your donation, Mel. So what we'll look at is we will look at card number 1, Monday meeting, card number 2, Wednesday meeting, card number 3 will be about Bobby, and card number 4 about anything else you need to know. So that's how we'll break it down. Pretty perfect for this. And the Love Witch will pull a charm for you. All right. All righty. Okay. All righty. This is great, actually. All right. No meeting on Monday. We have Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, they're going to be tied up and busy with other things. They're not going to be able to hold a meeting on Monday. That will not be happening. There's some kind of constriction happening for the Monday meeting. Wednesday meeting looks like it is going to happen. We've got the World card showing up. So it looks like one meeting instead of two. Hey, you win some, you lose one. Some. Mel doesn't like to go to meetings, by the way, for those of you who have not. We have Mel wonderfully donating, and we're so grateful every week and asking about the meetings. So Monday, no meeting. You can relax. Wednesday, yes, a meeting. Now let's talk about Bobby. Will you hear from Bobby soon? This is a great card to see showing up. This is King of Wands. King of Wands represents somebody that is passionate, optimistic, active, and also kind of, I would say, like looking for a relationship, like serious relationship, but very, very passionate person, very sensual, very magnetic, and also great chemistry. So I think there's like this, like, what brings people together? There's lots of things that bring people together. But this is like the sexual magnetism between you is bringing you together. I get the sense that this actually, if Bobby is somebody that is new or Bobby is somebody you've known in the past, however he's actually coming looking for something long term. He's looking for something long term. So and he's also looking for sexy. That's what he's looking for. So if you think that you'll hear from Bobby pretty soon, probably sometime before the end of the month, you're going to hear from him because this is somebody who's definitely knows what they want, has that action energy, that passion of the wands and the fire, and maybe inspired by all the spring energy coming around, spring fever, right? Maybe coming around again. So I feel like this is a really good sign for Bobby coming around. Really, really good sign. Your fourth card, what else do I need to know for this week? Long range plans, Three of Wands. So Three of Wands shows a guy who's a merchant. He's looking at his three little ships, which you can see there. Three little ships that are sailing. So this is about sending out your ships to come back with treasure, to come back with reward. It sometimes is a process. Oftentimes this is like Three of Wands energy sometimes feels like, oh, nothing's happening, but it is happening behind the scenes. So if there are things that you have put out there and you don't feel like anything's happening, you have to put a little more trust into it. If you haven't put things out there, like you haven't done any spell work or taken any action or started any projects, this is a great week to start those projects and to send those ships out there. That could be, for example, looking for a new job, starting a new business. And this season is perfect for it. We're right on the cusp, but we're right on the cusp of spring equinox, which is, as I was saying in the Q&A earlier, is a great time for taking action on intentions, not just dreaming, thinking. That's Imbolc. That's the season that we're leaving behind, is the dreaming part. Planning, dreaming, scheming. Now it's time to take action on those dreams and schemes. So if there's something that you want to accomplish this year, something like this, 2024 is my year for XYZ, this is a great season to get started. We're at the beginning of Aries season. Aries is go for it energy, resilient, victorious, doesn't mind competition, willing to go for it, and lots of fire, which means action and passion. So think about those dreams and those plans and things that you want to accomplish this year. And this week, take some action. Now, if you take action this week, you might not see the result immediately, but keep going because those ships that you sent out have to go to somewhere else and then they have to come back. So if you don't see an immediate result, don't panic. This is a big thing with magic. I was talking with my friend earlier today, and we were talking about spells. And we were talking about how sometimes people like do the thing of like do a spell and then they go, my spell isn't working. Don't say your spell isn't working, because when you say your spell isn't working, you've just cast a new spell and you've canceled out your old spell. Now you have nothing. You're starting from scratch again. So when you do a spell, put the spell out there. And if you don't see a result, think of this. Think of this. This is this energy. When you sit in a theater and you're going to see a play, I love to go to the theater. I love the theater. I love to see a play, right? So I go to the theater, get there a little bit early, I get a good seat, I sit down, and from my perspective in the audience, what do I see? A curtain, right? Boring. Nothing's happening from the audience perspective. If you've ever been in the theater, what's happening behind the scenes? What's happening behind? They're crazy back there backstage. They're getting everything in place. They're putting on their costumes. They're warming up their froggy voices. They're getting ready to do the show, right? So just because from your perspective you are not seeing something does not mean that nothing is happening. We have to remember that with our magic. We have to remember that with our magic. Just because you're not seeing something in front of your eyes right now does not mean your magic's not working. I have spells that sometimes took a few months, sometimes took a few years to manifest, but I never said to that spell, it's not working. Sometimes things have to line up and sometimes things have to move around for you to get that true love of your life, that perfect job, that book contract that you wanted. Mine. Uh, Anything that you want sometimes takes time. So trust it. If it takes a couple months, great. If it takes a couple years, great. You're still moving toward it, even if you don't see anything. So, all right, I'm going to drink while you do the charm reading. So,
Yeah, I think it's like better to forget about your spell than to think it didn't work. Because even if you forget about it, you did your part. It's out there still working and doing stuff behind the scenes. And very often we do not see that. We don't know what that looks like. Think about trees. Where does a lot of their growth take place? Underground. So things are growing, things are changing and evolving by the minute. The charm I pulled is this beautiful goddess of Willendorf. This is my favorite charm in this whole bag. The goddess of Willendorf is really special to me. I make a bunch of soaps that look like her. I have her all over my house. She's amazing. She's the oldest piece of art. She's very mysterious. Perhaps she was used for fertility. I use her for abundance. You can use her for protection. You can use her for all kinds of things. But what this is telling me for you, Mel, is that you need to get in touch with the divine feminine, get in touch with nature, get in touch with these things that are bigger than us and older than us, and get some comfort from them. So, maybe this is speaking to the divine feminine and asking her directly to send you some blessings or, saying very specifically what you want. But, putting stuff out there. And it could also be like maybe it's time to work with the goddess of Willendorf specifically. And there's a lot of great ways you could do that. You could burn a goddess of Willendorf candle. We make them at Parlor of Wonders. You could use one of the soaps that I make. I'm knee deep in soap right now, so there's a lot more on the way coming soon. Or, you could put like a picture of the goddess of Willendorf as the background on your phone. And when you're freaking out or stressing out or just, need to recollect yourself and remember your intentions, open up your phone, look at that picture and let the goddess help you. She has been hard at work for thousands of years. So there's no reason you can't work with her too. And she's also, I think, for that reason, a good symbol of patience too, right? Like, well, she's been waiting around for thousands of years, and it's not like she's just sitting waiting doing nothing. But good things are worth waiting for, and good things persist. So even if you don't have it yet, once you get it, it's going to last for a really long time, and it's going to be worth that wait. I know this to be true. So that's
yeah,
what I got.
so beautiful. I mean, I think about things like, let's say you're inviting a lover into your life, right? If you're inviting someone you don't know, right? I want this perfect person in my life. Well, what if they're in a relationship with someone else? And if you were to magically snap your fingers and put them in front of you, that, unless you want a poly relationship, which is a whole other thing, but if you want a monogamous relationship with that person, it's not the right time. So things have to unfold over there before you can have the thing that you want. So think about that with everything. Don't get frustrated if you're not seeing instant results. I think this is what I call the Harry Potter problem. There's a lot of Harry Potter problems, but this is another Harry Potter problem, which
It's the
is
first one.
that that people think I point my wand and something's supposed to happen. Why isn't anything coming out of my wand right now? It's not magic. My wand isn't working, right? It's because in a movie, you don't want to wait 5 years for magic to happen. I mean, Practical Magic was a great, actually, an accurate movie
Yeah.
about magic because she set that intention for that guy, and he didn't come to like way later, right? So, so I think it's like that idea about magic that's like fantastical that we see instant results, and we do sometimes see instant results. I mean, that doesn't not happen, but that is not every spell. So think about like if you're doing a play and all you have is a guy in a black turtleneck sitting on a black box and a black stage, then it's not a lot of stuff to set up. But if you have a set and costumes and songs and dances and microphones and props and all these things, there's a lot that has to get lined up. So trust your magic and know that it's lining up behind the curtain where you're just sitting in the audience going, nothing's happening, right? I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone or whatever, right?
Here's a piece of advice I love to give my clients who are getting frustrated about this. If you've been doing magic for really big goals and it's taking a long time to see your results, start doing magic for smaller goals too. Because I think the quick turnaround you'll see on those will encourage you and get you excited about how fast those bigger goals are going to come around.
Yeah.
And good things really can take some time. I remember in 2010, I was like sitting in my living room in North Carolina and I was telling my best friend, we're going to go live with your grandma in New York City. I can see it happening. Guess what? I didn't live with her grandma, but I lived with another friend's grandma in New York City. And then I remember like 4 or 5 years after that, or no, actually, very specifically, I remember in 2015, I was writing a book about being a tarot reader and living by the beach. Now I'm a tarot reader who lives by the beach. So sometimes things just come into existence from our mind. It happens all the time, but it takes time to happen. And it takes time for everything to fall into place. And both of those dreams I forgot about by the time they came around. And then I remembered and I was like, oh, I asked for this. So be careful what you're asking
Same.
for. And don't get so fixated on how long it's taking. Because if we're just like checking our watch every 5 minutes, it's going to feel so much longer to get wherever we're going.
It's like saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? That's a
Mm-hmm.
terrible trip when someone's saying, are we there yet? But I always say, like when you said like quick magic, here's the way. The more open your magic is, the
Yeah.
faster it can come to you. So one of my favorite exercises to do with my students, my magic students, is to tell you guys, do an intention, a spell that the universe delivers a gift in the next 48 hours. All right. The universe delivers a gift in the next 48 hours. A gift, not a specific thing, a gift. I have had the wildest things show up with me when I've done that, like get that spell to bring a
Me
gift.
too.
I got free coffee beans one time in the wildest way possible. I mean, I've gotten wild things. I manifest a lot of coffee, by the way. I also manifested coffee recently from somebody else. One of my clients has a coffee company. So yeah. So I manifest coffee like that's the easiest thing for me to manifest. Maybe
Well, you need it with all the
I
stuff on your calendar.
exactly in my blood, man. All right, let's look at Tiffany. Thank you so much, Mel. Great to
Thank you,
see you
Mel. Have a
again.
great week.
Yeah, you have no meeting on Monday. That's good. All right, Tiffany. um, I want some guidance for increasing enrollment in my spring course. How to attract more clients, any blockages with my business partners, successes, what to do differently to make this course the most successful. Okay. The first thing I would do is what we just talked about with job hunting. Was that here or no? I think it was it here that we were
I
talking
think
about?
it was here. I think it was here. It was here.
Yes, it was because it was healing minds. What brain? So what you want to do is do magnetic attraction oil and fame and fortune oil. So that's what you're doing. Fame and fortune is to bring you positive attention, bring positive attention to your class. magnetic attraction is to attract those students and attract that. So I would do, whether you put that oil on yourself, put it in a bath, put it on a candle, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you, that's what I would recommend. So in terms of magic, you get a free little spell for just a little bonus. But let's look at the cards. All right. All right. What's going to help Tiffany kick butt and take names on that course? All right. Oh, another thing you can do in magic too is I invite the perfect students that we are a match for one another, because that specific thing can be really good. Like, you want good people that come back to you over and over again, that really appreciate what you're offering, are ready for what you're offering. That's also really important, because if you don't have a match, then it makes your life hard, right? If they're not the right people. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good energy around this. All right. First card is the star card. So star card is really interesting because maybe you're feeling really anxious about this. And the star card is telling you to get calm and centered and peaceful. It's a card of meditation. It's a card of peace. So the first thing I would do is, instead of looking for quantity, ask for quality. I want the perfect students to come to me, the right amount of students to come, the perfect people that I will connect with, that will connect with me. Like, that would be my very, very first intention, is to bring the energy down, instead of, if you're feeling frantic or if you're feeling anxious about this, to really do your work to get centered and calm. When we start doing that, I think just the act of saying, I'm inviting my perfect people to come to me, it takes away a lot of the pressure. We live in this weird times right now where everybody measures their worth by how many freaking followers they have. And I just had a colleague, Pythian Priestess, who was like, I lost a bunch of followers because I talked about my eating disorder. She publicly posted about it, so it's not, I'm not talking about any telling tales out of school or anything. But she's like, I go, it's so much better to have 100 followers who really love you and appreciate you than 100,000 who don't give a crap, or want you to be a certain way, or want you to only put certain content. Those people, I go, when that people are like that, we want you to don't post about Ukraine and political things. This is a magical, your feed is supposed to be about magic. I'm like, go to my business one, Parlor of Wonders, if you only want to see magical things. This Madame Pamita is who I am. It's me. My Instagram is not carefully curated. I'll tell you that. It's a little mishmash. It's a funny video. It's a angry video. It's a whatever, right? It's whatever I'm kind of feeling in the moment. It's me. It's authentic. If you don't like authentic me, there's plenty of other people you can follow. So I think that the first thing you want to say is to, yes, we also want the biggest audience. We want to be able to help many, many people, but look for building your quality audience, not the numbers, not that, because that can make us feel less than. It's always compare and despair. Because you know what? This is facts. There's always going to be someone that's doing better than you. There's always going to be somebody that has more followers than you. There's always going to be somebody who's making more money than you, who's more popular than you. And even, guess what? When you get to the top, you might be at the tippy top for a little while, and then someone else comes and surpasses you. So if you are basing your self-worth or I'm not saying that you're doing this, Tiffany, but I'm saying if someone is basing their self-worth on these temporary things about like how many followers or how many people, then you're always going to be unhappy. You're always going to be unhappy. There's nobody who in this world who compares and is happy. That's the truth. Even if you're at the tip top, even if you're Meryl Streep, right? Meryl Streep. Is there anybody bigger, better than Meryl Streep? There's somebody younger and prettier than Meryl Streep. Right?
Share.
What? Share?
Share.
But Cher played her mother, didn't she? In
So,
Mamma Mia? So what I'm saying is, like, you can be proud of what you do, but don't get into, like, the numbers game, because the numbers will always make you unhappy.
yeah.
So,
And there's
now I
always
don't
someone doing better than us, but there's always someone on the opposite end too. Like we're doing better than someone too. So it's like a stupid game to play because we're always going to end up in the middle.
exactly. I mean, I always say to myself, and I say to my clients when we're talking, I always say, "You know what? What you are doing right now, if you're doing, especially creative people, right? You might be a musician and you're playing in a coffee house for 5 people who are talking to their friends and they don't care. I'm telling you, even if you're doing that, there's somebody who's dreaming of doing that and who doesn't have the guts to do it or the ability or whatever. So, wherever you are on your journey, whatever, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a creator, whether you're whatever you're doing, remember that there's somebody who dreams of doing that. So be proud of yourself and don't get into the and then work on attracting those good people to you. So even if you have 3 students, if you have 3 students who are love you and are devoted to you and are going to keep coming back to your classes, it's going to grow from there. So don't get into that pressure of the numbers. Don't do that. This also supports that too. Full card, be in trust. This is the other part of it too. So get centered, be in total trust. The Fool card is like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to see what happens, I'm going to trust that it's all going to work out for me. Every time you do this, it works out for you, especially when this card shows up. It's going to work out for you. So to get out of this goal setting in the sense of, like, I need to make these benchmarks, that is not the Fool. Get out of that mindset and get into the, like, it's all going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Do your due diligence, do what you need to do to get the word out there, to share, to drum up business, but also be in that place of, like, whatever happens is going to be perfect. If I have 3 students, great. You know what? In my professional tarot class, I had 2 students, which is the least number of students I've ever had in professional tarot, ever in my history. Do you know what? That series was so damn fun for me because it was 3 of us, and you love what's repeating, um, coming together and having a great time. And those 2 students bonded and are, like, helping and supporting one another. So was the best professional class I had with the fewest number of students. So I just said, okay, as long as I have more than one student. I mean, if it's one student, then it's one on one, and that doesn't work for tarot. But with 2 students, it was awesome. It was awesome. So trust the process. Whatever shows up for you is going to be amazing. And that's the trust you have to have. Last card, practical card, 3 of Pentacles. Collaborate with others. And when I'm saying this, I'm saying maybe there's other teachers that you can do an exchange of some kind. You can give a discount to their students and they can give a discount to your students for their classes. You can share, resources, right? Um, Maybe there's a thing that you can do, with a friend or a colleague who's like, can you off, if you want to give your people a special deal, especially if there's somebody that does something obviously different than what you do. Like let's say your class is in yoga. I'm just making up something. It's a yoga teacher training. But you got a friend who does Reiki teacher training. Those are 2 different things. You can offer that to their students and they can offer a discount to their classes to your students. So yeah, you could do something like that. So it'd be really good. What do you have, Love Witch?
I pulled this beautiful little trophy that says #1. So I think this is going to be your most successful course yet, even if you don't have the biggest attendance, because the people that you match with and the people who do sign up are going to be a really perfect fit. And I think what you were saying hit the nail on the head about making sure that you're calling in perfect match students. And I used to do like a lot of money work and a lot of like steady work spells for just like any work I could get, as much work as possible. I just need to make a lot of money. And I would make a lot of money and I would get a lot of work, but a lot of it would be stuff that was kind of boring or tedious or just not my favorite things. So now I call in perfect match clients who are going to be really fun to work with and that I'm going to get excited about the phone ringing and not dread it. And it makes work so much easier, and it ends up making me more money because I feel more inspired to do it. Right. So yeah, don't get so caught up on the numbers, and just know that like this venture is surrounded in success. You have the air of success on your side, so run with it. And even if you don't make the most money or have the most students, you're going to learn valuable lessons and make valuable connections that will make this so worth your while.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Love Witch has super fans. People tell me all the time, "I love the Love Witch. I love Love
I love all the
Witch."
people who say that. So
I love the I know I'm in the fan club too. I
I
love
love
the Love
you.
Witch too. All right,
You're the original fan.
thank you so much, Tiffany. All right,
Thank you,
Devon,
Tiffany.
Devon, you are awesome. Devon, you are so awesome. One whole granny, you're helping one whole granny this week. You're feeding someone for 2 weeks, which is such a amazing thing. All of you guys are amazing, of course, but it's fun to think about when you donate $40, you're really helping buy groceries for 2 weeks to a person, halfway across the world. It's like amazing. General energy for the week ahead, or whatever the cards want to share. All right. Devon, did you get my email that I sent earlier this week with that connection? By the way, put in your chat. Last week, the guidance gave me inspiration to create little treats for myself. One treat, I organized my books in a new spot: 5 candle magic, 4 magical tarot, 3 baba yaga. Oh my gosh, you sound like me, a book hoarder, and kept going. I love that. I love that. Did you get my email with the introduction, Devon? Let me know in the chat. I sent you an email earlier this week. All right, let's see general energy. And you put it up there if Devon posts, okay? All right. Oh, we forgot to say our sale. Duh. Oh, you did get it. Okay, good. I hope you two connect up. I think it kind of could be a good thing. All right. Who knows what'll come of it? But you guys live in the same area. So, all right. We have a special sale going on before I go into your reading, although I shuffled, but we'll do that in a second. Speaking of tarot, we have 15% off all of the tarot and oracle decks. Oh my God, I can't talk. All the tarot and oracle decks at the Parlor of Wonders. The code is Fortune Teller. If you are in the coven, and if you aren't in the coven, why aren't you in the coven? It's my amazing inner circle where you get all kinds of goodies, all kinds of special things. If you're in the coven, you get 20% off. If you are not in the coven, your 15% off discount is good until Tuesday. If you are in the coven, your discount is bigger, 20%, and it's good all the way to the end of the week. So, all right. Let's look at your week ahead, Devon. Thank you so much. Oh, I like it. Oh, it's a nice week. Good week for you. Alrighty. I love that you did your organization and zhuzhed your house a little bit. That's a good thing to do for spring. It's a really good thing to do around spring. We're going to have a cool little thing coming, a little sneaky peek. We're going to have a cool little thing coming for energetic cleansing for spring coming up. Not too far away. All right. We have first card, 7 of Swords. New strategies. If something isn't working out for you, if something isn't going the way that you want to do it, this card is telling you, get off that hamster wheel. Get off that hamster wheel. What isn't working? This is actually great for like the energy of the eclipse. Not that that's happening this week, but this is what we were talking about, like closing one chapter, opening a new chapter, like what isn't working? What isn't working for you? Great thing to, like, at the beginning of the week, assess, what one thing, because we don't need to overhaul everything in our life, right? Because that becomes too big of a project. Pick one thing that you are like, I feel like I'm a hamster on a wheel. I'm running and running and running and running, but I'm not really going anywhere, right? So, what would you like to shift? And for that, it's not necessarily to end something, but to shift the strategy, right? So, for example, I'm going to give an example. I know this isn't you, Damon, because you got your job and you're happy at your job, but let's say you're looking for a job and you're putting out resumes and putting out resumes and putting out resumes, and nothing is happening from putting out resumes. That's like being a hamster on a wheel, running and running and running and not moving forward. So you need to take a step back and go, okay, I need to approach job hunt a different way. So I'm going to network with my friends. I'm going to ask all my friends if they have opportunities where they work. That's a different strategy for the same goal. Okay, so you get that. So if there's something in your life where you're feeling like you're putting a lot of energy but seeing little result, try a new strategy. Try a different way of doing it, a new approach, a different way. Okay. Second card, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles energy is about really receiving those beautiful blessings. You know, it's like, oh, such a good, I love this card because it's about really receiving divine blessings. How do we open up that avenue for the blessings? Well, one of the ways that 10 of Pentacles represents is working with ancestors, ancestral energy. Start working, talking to your ancestors, asking them if you have an ancestor altar, great time to freshen it up. If you don't have an ancestor altar, time to set one up. Do you talk to your loved ones who have passed on? Do you honor your loved ones? Maybe light a little vigil candle for your loved ones and keep it burning as like a vigil for them, you know? Could be a great thing to do. So ancestor work to bring in blessings of whatever kind that you want. Also a great card for you personally. I'm going to say a thing. They're in a villa and there's all these gold coins, money around the villa. So this is like expansive energy of money expanding into bigger dreams about things. You know what I'm talking about. All right. That's secret between me and Devon. Four of Wands. You get this one a lot. I think so many people appreciate you. You have such a winning personality. There's lots of appreciation. And this card represents public recognition of you and things that you have done. So I feel like you're going to get some kind of, at work, you might get some kind of recognition of some kind. Maybe there's a little raise. I mean, 10 of Pentacles isn't bad for getting a raise either. Maybe there's some, you know, somebody gives you an atta girl, like you did a good job on something. It could be little like that, or it could be, you know, people really honoring you in some way and celebrating you. So if there's an opportunity to do that, or like, I mean, toot your own horn a little bit wouldn't be a bad thing to do, you know, like let people know what you've accomplished as well, you know, so that they can appreciate that. So if you're not getting recognition, new strategy, right? Tell them, hey, you know what? I did this and I did it in one day instead of all week or whatever. Give a little, get that recognition, get those little pats on the back. Psychic work this week, Queen of Cups. Do some psychic things. Do some like meditation, visualization. You could do some, you know, tarot reading, or you could do some divination work of some other kind. Yeah, do some spiritual magical work this week. It's going to be really supported, especially stuff that you do that's like real internal, dreaming things into being. Could be that as well. What a sweet week though for you. I love that. What do you have, Love Witch?
I pulled this little eye charm. So to me, this says keep your eye out this week and be looking at things in new ways. I know for me, when I started doing candle wax divination, all of a sudden I was divining from everything. When I would look at a tree, I would see shapes in the leaves. When I would look in the sky, I would see shapes in the clouds. When I would look at the water, I would see shapes in the reflections. So look at things with fresh eyes this week and see if there's something you haven't been noticing in places that you look all the time. I think too, like, you know, looking around your life in the like spirit of spring cleaning, looking around your life and seeing which things really bring you joy and how you can bring them into more prominence, and which things frustrate you or make you sad, and how you can, I don't know, put those in the attic or the trash so that you're not reminded of them and not seeing them as much. The things we see like influence us so much, right? Even if we're not realizing it on a subconscious level, it's in our brain. That's why things from our day, or things that we see all the time, will pop up in our dreams. So yeah, be careful what you're looking at. Don't doom scroll either. Like, you know, if you're looking at your phone all day and seeing like horrible news, or, you know, things that are just worrying, just cut it out. Take a break from that this week. You can return to it some other time with more moderation. But right now, really go easy on yourself and be careful what you're looking at.
I'm telling you, that is a reading for me. You just because I had made a determination like this week. I just had a client who's a friend yesterday, and I'm like, I have got to like give myself a break from looking at the news. I have to give myself a break from looking at the news because it's so upsetting. And when I just think I almost want to like put away my phone for a while and just like be in the real world a little bit because the real world around me is actually very nice. But when I look at what's happening in other parts of the world or other parts of the country, it's just heavy energy. And it's not that I am in denial about those things being out there. That's not it at all. It's just that I have to refill my tank so that I can deal with those things. So if that's the case, Devon, maybe that's a good idea too, to refill your tank in some way,
I wish
right?
there was an app, like a news app that only gave really like encouraging and heartwarming news stories.
There is one,
Because
but
is
I
there?
don't know where it's like some number. I can't remember. I've seen ads for it.
I'll look it up.
Thank you so much. The wink wink secret is still a goal, man. Good. Good. Like that match might be good. The fire still burns strong. Appreciate you both. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. All right, we have one more reading, Cynthia. If you want to get a reading in, you're gonna get your reading in, your donation in before we finish Cynthia's reading, because after Cynthia, we're gonna sign off unless you sign up. So let's put those things up there. We've got Venmo. You can make your donation in Venmo. You can make your donation on PayPal, or you can make your donation through Super Chat down below if you're on YouTube. Any of those three will work. $10 per card, and you get a free charm reading with every reading. So, all right. So let's look at Cynthia. What does Cynthia want to know?
Before we pull up Cynthia's, I just wanted to share these sweet messages from Tiffany and
Oh,
Mel, who both said thank you and that they love us.
oh, you're
So
so
thank you. We
welcome.
love you both too so much.
Oh, that's
And
so
thank you guys
sweet.
for showing up so frequently. It's so amazing how we see the same people week after week, and you guys are helping so many seniors. It's really incredible.
I know. It just really makes my heart so happy. And, it's so fun to hang out with you guys too, by the way.
Yeah,
Fun to hang out with
exactly.
you. It's like win, 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 win for everyone. Um, can I trust and work with these new people, BROM, Lamine, and Guy, who are willing to help with my project promoting my artist in Africa? Cynthia, I am super passionate about your project. I think it is so awesome. I'm so glad you have. So, can I trust these new Apple who want to team up with my artist promotion, BRLM, Guy OM? Which country has better prospects for success? Ivory Coast, Kenya, South Africa. All right. So we're kind of looking at a lot. So what I'm going to do is, because usually I'll say this, usually when I'm doing a reading, if we're doing a private reading, Cynthia, and if you were asking these questions, I would pull one card or more. Sometimes they pull two or three for Ivory Coast, Kenya, South Africa, right? And I would pull one card for each of these people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, because we're doing three cards, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull one card for the project, one card for the people, and one card for the places. And next time we meet, next Sunday when we meet, if you want to look at just the people or you want to look at just the places and break it down into those smaller increments, or if you want to have a private one-on-one with me, then we can do that. I'm only doing readings though on Monday this week because I'm going to be in Phoenix for the rest of the week. So it would have to be next Sunday or next week or Monday tomorrow. All right. And I don't know if you can book a reading tomorrow. It might be all full. So maybe next week or next Sunday. You can do it for those, whatever one's most important to you. So we'll just do it like kind of a general on all three things. Okay. But we'll first look at the whole project. Second, we'll look at the people. Third, we'll look at places and see generally if these are good. And then we can break it down for another time. All right. I love that you're doing this so much. Actually looks really good. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. Generally, good energy. That's great to see. People, good energy. That's great to see. Places, we need to pick selectively because there's one that may not be good or two that may not be good. So there's definitely something with the places. So maybe next time we meet next Sunday, we can ask about the places. All right. General of the project. Look at this. This is everything right here. 10 of Pentacles energy, blessings, abundance, ancestry, ancestors. Oh my gosh, ancestors are so happy about this. Of course, they're happy about it. Oh my gosh, bringing these artists and music to Africa that really, that I know that the last project that you work on, the artists that you had African ancestry and really wanted to go back and perform there, and you made it happen. And this is such a thing that I think that the ancestors are rejoicing. I really, really feel like you've got strong ancestral support on this project. So what that tells me is anything you can do in working with your ancestors, setting up an ancestor altar, just talking to your ancestors, making offerings to your ancestors, anything that you do along those lines is just going to expand this and make it grow and even be more successful. First thing. Second thing, 10 of Pentacles. This is money showing up. So last time I think you broke even. It was like fine. You ended up breaking even. I think this time around you got more experience. You know what you're doing. You've got more of those, just the know-how to make it more profitable. I definitely see profit. I definitely see money coming in from it. I also see this lovely like family group here, right? So we have mom, dad, kid, dogs, grandpa, everybody's there hanging out. So I love the idea that we're creating family. You're creating family with the artist, you're creating with the family with the people that you're working with. Have that energy, even if they're not related to you, that they have that. Now you have people that you're related to that are working great. That's even, more supported. But I also think having that family energy that we're working together, we're a family, we trust one another, and building that trust is going to show up with this. It's got blessing energy all over it. Such a blessing. And the ancestors are such like the wind beneath your wings on this. Really, really, this is like such a beautifully spiritually supported project. And so I think that if you go to make an ancestor altar or work in that way, you're really going to have even more blessings because the ancestors want this to happen, right? They want this to happen. I think I do tons of ancestor work. And I really do feel like they want the best for us, right? Don't you want the best for your kids? Don't you want the best for your grandkids? Of course you do. Well, it's no different. Their spirits are watching over. So ancestor work is everything in this. That's the first thing. Such a beautiful, beautiful card. Second of all the people that you're working with, we can collectively say that these people are good people. They have their heart in the right place. This is a heart-centered project, a love project. This is what Ace of Cups represents. It's like the heart is engaged. So I know there's a business part of it, there's a fame part of it, there's all of this, but really when we come back to the center, it is the heart. It is the heart. I'm not surprised because music does this, right? Music is an emotional experience. Most of us don't look at music going, well, I really like how they put that note there. And, I don't know, whatever, break it down like it's math. Most people don't do that with music. They have an emotional experience with music. Imbue everything with love. Imbue everything with love. These people, I see these people as all being very heart-centered. If there is someone who isn't heart-centered, I don't know. I don't think that's your group, right? But this is really where it's at. It's got to come from the heart. I think about, we've had lots of one-on-one sessions when you were planning the other tour, right? And when we were talking about that, I remember how you would describe to me how your artist was so emotionally moved by the idea of going back to Africa and performing and how beautiful that was. And it just sounded so gorgeous and amazing. So remember to always keep the heart in it. Be businesslike, do the contracts, do all of that. But look for the people that have their heart in it, that really love this and have a spiritual essence to them. And I think you have a good group of people, but that's what you need to be looking for is the people who are doing this because they really have that heart center in it. And you can tell, you can tell. That's a pretty easy thing to tell with people. I mean, it's not, I don't even think you need to be psychic to tell that, right? Love Witch, would you say agree? Like when you're looking at.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to say because my intuition is pretty spot on, I'd like to think. But even before I developed my intuition or ever read a tarot card, I've had a really keen sense about people. And I think that's true for most of the people I know. So yeah, you can
Yeah.
feel people's energy.
Cynthia.
It's not hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like looking at somebody, the Starbucks barista who's got their heart in their job and the Starbucks barista who doesn't have their heart in their job. I mean, we can look at them and tell, right? At least I can. I mean, I can say, oh boy, that person loves their job, that person hates their job. So you want the people that really are in it because they just love this project, they love the music, they're there to be there and to create something beautiful, because this is what you're creating, is you're creating beauty and so much more with this project. So I love it. All right, places, we got to talk. So next time we meet, let's talk about the places and let's just look at the different places, because there's some places that are a no-go and there's some that are probably a go. So we have to close a chapter on some idea and open a new chapter. It might be even that none of these countries are the place that you need to go and you need to look somewhere else. This is not bad, but it's just saying keep looking, right? So we'll have to look at those and break those down next time to see what countries to focus on, and then see where it's going to be the easiest, going to be the most productive, that you're going to have the best outcome to it. But there's definitely something with the places that we have to look deeper at. But the people, look at their heart. I think you got a great group of people. The project itself, super blessed. Ancestors are rejoicing. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing. Oh, I love it. I love it so much, Cynthia. All right. What do you have?
Well, Cynthia gets two charms because they're stuck together. So I have, this bag with all these charms in it. They're all silver except for this one little car that's gold. And through the windshield, there were these little angel wings. So I think this is about really positive movement. Things are moving and it's going in the right direction. And your angels, your ancestors, your guides, they're all involved in this process and they're all keeping a very close eye on you. So, listen for their answers. When you feel stuck about something or you're not sure, ask them out loud, and then close your eyes and see how you feel about it. And this gold charm popping up to me says that, this is something that really can make a lot of money, be super, super successful, and also just be like something that brings you a lot of happiness and joy, which I think you already know, especially about that last part. But yeah, this is going really good places. So get excited, stay excited, and just keep that movement energy going. Don't slow down. There's no need to. Just, keep your eye on the prize.
I think that angel wings is just super confirmation of the ancestors.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you were pulling out the card charm and the ancestors like, wait, we need to like
Uh-huh.
let you know.
We're along for this ride.
We are totally along for the ride. Exactly. Oh, Cynthia, I am so excited about your next steps. This is like amazing what you have accomplished. I hope you are patting yourself on the back and how much. Remember what we were saying earlier about like how there's always something different with my charms. Interesting. I think we both, I just need money to pursue. Yeah. I think that that's where you need to start asking your ancestors, right? I know you guys want this. For me to do this, I need this, right? That's the perfect thing to like say, ancestors, I need your help with this because you want me to do this. I'm willing to do this, but I need this part, right? That's a perfect thing to ask. But it's like we were saying, like how I hope you give yourself pats on the back for how much you have accomplished and what beauty you have created in the world, what
Yeah.
amazing connections you have made and continue to make. Because remember what we were saying earlier about like, you're in, working really hard and doing all that stuff, right? But somebody out there, this is their biggest dream. What you're doing, somebody else is just dreaming it and not taking the action. And so pat yourself on the back for taking the risk, taking the action, putting it out there. It's you're really doing something so gorgeous and beautiful. I just love it so much. I love it so much. It's got such good energy. So your ancestors are saying, we want to help you. So ask your ancestors, say, okay, great. You want this to happen? I'm willing to do the work, but I need this piece. I need the people. I need the money. I need the resources. I need the XYZ. I would even say, like, break it down and say, I need you to help with resources, because sometimes the resources can come, you might think I have to buy, let's say advertising, right? Oh, I've got to have X amount of money for advertising. But what if somebody donates the advertising? You still get it. So just instead of saying, asking the ancestors for money, ask the ancestors for the resources, because that opens it up much bigger, and it can be gifts or people donating time or energy or opportunities or whatever. And that can really make a difference. And it isn't limited to just money, although I see money around it, so yeah.
Well,
Great.
while we're
Thank you,
talking about
Cynthia.
things that make our
Yeah.
thank you, Cynthia. While we're talking about things that make our ancestors happy, can I plug something really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am now doing free candle spells for animals in need. So if you know a missing pet, or if you have a sick pet, or just know of an animal that needs a little magical boost, hit me up. Head to animalaltar.com and you can submit a little form where you can give me some information and upload a photo, and I'll get a little candle started for you within a day. They burn for just a couple of hours, so you can get some quick spiritual support. And I've already had 3 people reach out, and so I've burned 3 candles for animals so far. So it's making my heart so happy, and I know that it's making my ancestors really happy too, because I've got a lot of
Oh,
pet lovers in my family.
I love that so much, and I saw that, and I want to share it on my Instagram,
Oh yeah,
okay?
okay. Well, I'll share it for
Thank you. You know what?
you.
I was intent. I don't have the time to do it, but you can share it on my Instagram. Yeah, so put it on my Instagram, because I'd love for people to know about that and to take advantage of that. I have a lot of animal, owners, pet owners, and people. So if there's an animal that's sick or suffering in some way or lost, I mean, oh my gosh, that's a big one. You can do that. Can you do a spell to make Glinda less spicy?
Yeah, right after I do one for my cats. My
Oh
cat's
my
so
God.
mad at me. She has not been in this room in like 3 days. She won't even sleep in here right now. But I think she's part of like an ongoing turf war relating to a bed in the living room. So she doesn't
Oh
want to
my
give up
God.
her spot because someone's going to steal
I
it.
thought you were going to say, I think she's part of a cult that has told me not,
Well,
told her not to.
well, if she continues, that's going to be my next guess. 'Cause, they
She's
love
in
to
a
cut you
cult.
off from your family.
Exactly. Oh my God, Glinda today. So my cats are outdoor cats. So they go outside during the day and when the sun goes down. And today she does a certain meow that I can tell she caught something, right? She caught something. So lately she's been catching little tiny mice. They're like baby mice, right? Little mice, right? And so I'm like, it's alive. She's playing with it, right? And I'm like, Glinda, just let the mouse go. And she's like, don't tell me what to do with my mouse. I'm like, ew, you have an attitude. I'm the one that feeds you. Like, I can
Well,
get my
you eat
own
the mouse.
food. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. Okay, so 2 card reading. Can I get 2 cards pulled on a new situation, a person I went on one date with, his feelings on it? He's a little younger than me, a Scorpio. A Scorpio. Love Witch can tell you about Scorpios, because Love Witch is a Scorpio. Scorpios like to be a
I've been
little
told I'm the
mysterious.
very epitome of a Scorpio, in fact. I don't know if that's good or bad.
No,
They
it is
didn't mean it
good.
nicely, but I think it's good.
I think Scorpios, like, I've dated Scorpios and they're hot. First of all, as a Scorpio, I still like go, "Oh, he's so hot." But definitely Scorpios are hot. Scorpios can be a little like intrigue, mystery, but a Scorpio friend is the best friend you will ever have. At least for me, Cancer. Maybe not for a fire sign best friend, but for me as a water sign, I feel like they're like the ones that are gonna be in the girl gang with me, and if I get in trouble, they'll fight anybody that
Yeah, I'll show up with
messes
the
with me.
crowbar.
That's a Scorpio. So they're the most loyal. When you get a Scorpio as a friend, and I have lots of Scorpio friends, or if you get a Scorpio and you can get them to commit to you, they're very loyal, extremely loyal, you know. So yeah, really
You just
wonderful.
don't
All
want a
right.
Scorpio as an enemy. Then you're good.
Don't have a Scorpio as an enemy, or you will be miserable your whole life long. They can torture you. All right, let's see what we see here. Thank you so much, Em. All right, what's going on with this hot Scorpio? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I have a feeling this is like it's going to be a hot cold situation. It's going to be off on. I also feel like perhaps he's struggling financially, and that may be limiting the dating opportunities. All right. First card that came up was Five of Pentacles, and Five of Pentacles to me is like being left out in the cold. So sometimes, like, this is like, "Ugh, they're not responding to me, or they're not doing it." So be prepared. You may get that initially. Now, what I also got from this is that it's Five of Pentacles, which also can mean poverty. So that it may be of like a financial situation for him. I don't know if you know what his financial situation is, or if he's being mysterious about it. Does he have a job? Do you know if he has a job? Or is there some kind of financial issue that is not letting him like take you out on a date, right? So, and also, do you want to support someone that doesn't have a job? I mean, initially it's not so bad when you're just dating, but then when you get serious about someone, I've been through this where I was supporting someone else a few times, and it gets a little old. It gets a little old when you're the only one making an effort and earning money and the other person isn't. So I don't know if that's your situation as well. That may be part of it contributing to it, but there's definitely this feeling of like being left out in the cold. However, that's the first card. Second card is the Star card. If you are patient, I think there's a connection there between the two of you. So he may be figuring out some stuff and then come back into your life. So I wouldn't do any, oh, for sure, don't do any ultimatums with a Scorpio. Don't do any ultimate, right? Don't do any ultimatums. Don't do any like chasing. I wouldn't even chase. I would just, oh, he has a job. I don't know his income though. So there may be, even if you have a job, you might have some financial difficulties of some kind. So it might be something like that. The other thing that Five of Pentacles can be is health issues too. So I don't know if there's health issues or that's an issue at all. So anyway, something going on behind the scenes. Scorpio's not going to tell you. They're going to be mysterious about it, and they're not going to tell you. But you're going to feel like you're left out in the cold. Don't pursue, don't chase, be friendly, be open, don't block, don't, ultimatum or anything like that. If you are patient with him, he will come around again and drink from the well, right? He'll come around again. So I think there's a connection between the two of you. It's definitely got this like spiritual quality to it. There's definitely a magnetism, but it may be very subtle and very slow. Water signs can be slow, believe it or not. We think of earth signs as being slow. Water signs are just one step up from earth signs in terms of the wheel of all the elements, right? So water signs sometimes take a little while to like warm up to you, right? I don't know what sign you are, Em, but it can be a little if you're a fire sign or an air sign, it can feel like, oh my God, it's so slow, right? But I can speak as a water sign, and maybe Buchanan can speak. Oh, I can speak as a water sign. Um, I always found online dating weird because it was like you were expected to know if you could fall in love with a person meeting them once. And I'm like, that never oh my gosh, you're air and fire. Okay, it's going to seem excruciatingly slow. It's going to seem excruciatingly slow. But for water earth sign, it's not slow at all. we need to get to know you. We need to warm up to you. We need to like kind of feel like, so we could have an attraction, but we are kind of like take our time. Is it real? Do I have to get to know them. Do you feel like that, Love Witch?
Yes, 100%. Online dating has
And a
never
water
worked for
sign.
me because, like, for me, I can't fall in love with somebody unless I've known them for a long time and, like, understand them inside and out. For me, it's, like, really what's on the inside that attracts me, so it makes no sense to pick people from a profile or a picture
Yeah.
or an initial first impression even. Like, it takes me forever, which
Yeah.
is really frustrating to a lot of people, especially fire signs and air signs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like I go like, well, you're intriguing, but I want to know more. Like
Mhm.
it's almost like playing a game of Candyland. Is that a terrible analogy? I'm gonna like take my little steps around the track, and it's almost in some ways like you're not testing them, but like you're seeing, all right, this was fun. We had a good time. Oh, they're a good kisser. I like that. The next step is like, oh, they like the same kind of music I like. I don't know, whatever thing is your thing, right? So that you kind of like have to take steps to get there. So it's like you have to be patient with water signs, even if it's even if they're like hot to trot and you made out or slept together or whatever, to get to the heart space is like a game of Candyland. You have to go all the squares to get to their heart. And it means
Or maybe even
spending time with them.
Monopoly. It could take days and days and days.
At least mine has like a beginning and an end, not endlessly going around. God, Monopoly. That's so that's the worst. So anyway, point being, you're gonna, I think because you're a fire sign, air sign, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I'm left out of the cold. From his perspective, it's like, oh, this is like the normal pace of things, right? But he is going to come back if you don't close the door. I would just sort of distract myself for a while, date other people, have fun with your friends, or just, focus on other things and just wait for that energy to come back to you. Leave the door open for it, and you're going to hear from him like eventually, but it don't get mad that it's not happening fast. If you want fast, go with a fire sign or air sign because they move very fast. Air signs really, most for the most part, pretty decisive. They know what they want. Like they can just like, yeah, this is what I want or this is what I don't want. Unless they're Libra, then they sometimes have to do that. Fire signs are like, hey, baby, it's on. I'm in, oh my God, fire signs. And they're like, let's get married. And I'm like, we've been going out a month. What are you even talking about? So that's a fire sign. And I've dated lots of fire signs, and it's like way too fast for me. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
And they're like,
I'm
God, you're
thinking a
so
specific Aries
slow.
comes to mind, like,
Oh my God.
I think
Oh
we've
my
all had that
God.
experience.
Yeah. Fire signs are amazing. I love them. They're amazing. But in relationship, they're just too fast.
For us water signs.
Yes, for us, for us. For you, not too fast. It'll be perfect. So I'm with the earth sign now, and it's perfect. He's as slow as molasses, and it's great. We're like, yeah, we'll get married one day. Yeah, we'll get married. Like, that's
Yeah, it only took
perfect.
you guys, what, 30 years to get together?
I know, it took us, we've known each other since 1985 or 84, 85, 85. We've known each other, and it took us 30 years to get together, and now we've been together since 2017, and we're like, yeah, we'll get to married one day. So it's been like, oh my gosh, it's been 6 years, 7 years, 6 years, whatever it is, I don't know. But we're like, yeah, it's fine. We're not in a rush. We'll get married when we're 90. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be so cute.
Old people wedding. What wig will I wear for that? All right, you guys. Well, if there's anybody else, last chance, last
Oh,
call
I
for
have a
tarot
charm for
reading.
M.
Oh, sorry, so sorry.
Yeah,
Forgot.
I pulled this horseshoe charm. How seasonal, right? So, I think when thinking about good luck is being in the right place at the right time. So maybe it's just not quite yet the right time, but we're going to get there. So I think don't give up. Maybe do a little bit of good luck magic to help speed things up. But just keep in mind, like those Scorpio waters run very, very deep. So maybe he's going through something or is feeling really emotional right now and hasn't expose that to you. But once you're in that inner circle and once you really get past those doors, you're going to know about all of his emotional ups and downs.
And then you'll be
So
sorry that you opened those doors.
yeah. So be happy now that you don't know whatever's going on, and hang in there. And I really do feel like this is a good match, has the potential to be a really good match, and it just is going to require some patience. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
in luck here. It's going to go good. Just hang in
Patience
there.
is the key. Yeah. I think there's something going on for him, with that 5 of Pentacles, and so you're gonna feel like you're outside looking in, but really there's something going on in his life financially or health-wise or something, and that's what's really going on. So don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. That's for sure. And just like entertain, you're a Sag, entertain yourself. You should be, first of all, you should be dating 10 people as a Sag. You should have so many lovers and have all kinds of entertainment and all kinds of fun. And I always say when you're at the beginning of a relationship anyway, you should have a plan B, C, D, E, F. I mean, have lots of different potential people that you're talking to because you're single now. Enjoy being single. You're not committed to him and you're not committed to anyone. So you should be living your best life as a single person, which means dating and having fun and checking out the smorgasbord, right? When you go to the buffet, you don't just eat one thing, you get a little bit of everything. And that's where you are at right now. Get that, try a little bit of everything out there.
And hey, nothing is going to speed a Scorpio up like jealousy. So
True. And Scorpios are super psychic. So if you start dating someone else, he'll be like, my spidey senses are tingling. I got to call Em. Exactly. That's the way to play a Scorpio.
from inside the house, there's the tip.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know how you trick, we always said this before, you know how you trick a Cancer, right?
I
What do you
do.
say? Oh, you can't say it. That's right. You can't say it. It's secret to a Cancer. Okay, you guys, you're gonna have to book an appointment with me if you want to know the secret to a Cancer's heart. Okay.
Or tune in next week when I'm not here. We
All
can
right.
talk about it then.
Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We raised $180. That means it is 4.5 seniors that we're helping. Oh my God, you guys, that's amazing. I'll put in the extra 20 and we'll have 5 seniors. So we'll have a good 5 that we'll be helping. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. We love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. If you made a donation, or even if you didn't make a donation, please follow Yulia on Facebook. Yulia is in Kyiv. She's the one that is running Subotin Harbor, which is the organization that's just a small group of people who are making these deliveries and donations. And so they help 200 seniors every month. So 50 a week is their aim, that they try and get 2 weeks worth of groceries every month to these people so they can stretch their food budget and pay for things like heat and medicine and other things when they have to make those horrible decisions. Do I eat or do I get my medicine? That's an awful, awful thing to have to make a decision for. So this is a way that, this issue of poverty, of course, exists all over the world, but imagine living with poverty in a time when your, neighborhood is getting bombed. It's unfathomable. So this is a way we can alleviate some of the misery and bring in some sense of security to people who are really not having a lot of security right now. The war is still super active in Ukraine. Thankfully, we've got a little money that we sent over to them, this U.S., but of course, a super important thing, and I'm super passionate about it, is to get out and vote, especially you young people. I just read this thing. It's like in AARP magazine. Okay, and it says like 70% of people over 60 or 50 or whatever it is vote, and like 30% of people like 18 to 25 vote. I'm like, you guys are the ones, you young people are the ones that are going to live with the decisions that are made. And I want to plead with you, whatever age you are, please, this is the decisions that are being made by old people are not benefiting the young people. We really, really need to vote, and including saving Europe, because if Europe falls under a totalitarian government, this would be an absolute fucking disaster. Sorry, I swear, but it's really, I'm passionate about it. We need to support Ukraine because Putin is like Hitler. He literally is like Hitler. He just had an election where they had people in the occupied regions of Ukraine at gunpoint saying, you got to vote for Putin. That's the kind of elections they have there. People, brave people, were protesting, lighting ballot boxes on fire to protest, dumping ink in the ballot boxes to destroy the ballots, because they're saying, we don't want you as president anymore. But this is a totalitarian government where any opposition person is either jailed or killed. And so the only person you can vote for is Putin. So guess what? 85% of people elected Putin. What? That's
Wow.
crazy. So it's a totalitarian regime, and he will not stop until he's taken Ukraine, Poland, the Baltic states, and he won't stop there. Just like Hitler, he will not stop. In fact, he has said to kids in Russia, when they said something about where's Russia, and he says, Russia has no borders. The whole world is Russia. He has plans to take over the whole world, including going over to Alaska and taking back Alaska. Do you guys want
You think
that?
he'll
I
stop
don't
there
want that.
either?
What?
You think he'll stop there either? No, he'll keep
No, no.
going.
So this is a regime that is absolutely Hitlerian. And so if you don't want Hitler in your lifetime, if you are one of the people that said, if I lived in the 1940s, I would be fighting against Hitler, I would be doing this. This is your opportunity to make that. And you don't have to go fight. All you have to do is vote. But vote for people who are supporting arming Ukraine, because that is going to make all the difference. They are a poor country and they don't have the resources that we have. If everybody in Europe is supporting them, we need to support them too, right? We have to do it. We're a much bigger
Yeah, I
country
want
with
to say
much more
too,
resources.
I used to live in swing states, and so I felt super, super, super passionate about going out to vote every time. And then I moved to New York, and I was like, oh, I don't need to vote. Like, my vote doesn't matter here. And then I realized that could not be further from the truth, because yeah, when it comes to president, my vote or your vote over there in liberal California might not make a difference, but there's lots of other names on that ballot that have huge influence in all kinds of decisions and have voting power all across our democracy. So it's really important to vote no matter where you live.
Yeah.
And if you don't vote, like, you can't really complain about how things are going. And we got so much to
Well,
complain about. So
yes, exactly. And I also think it's super important, even if you are like, I always get mad, like, why vote counts for like 1/6 of a person in Wyoming when it comes to senators, right? It's like my vote doesn't count as much as a person in Wyoming when it comes to the electoral college, right? And that
yeah.
whole thing. But the more people that we remember, it's not just like the numbers, it's like your voice. It's your voice.
Mhm.
So even if you are in a state where it's like California or New York, and you're like, yeah, it's a given. If everybody thinks that, then guess what? Totalitarian regimes are like, great, we can move in.
Yeah.
Right now, there's so much Russian disinformation out there. It is bonkers. It is bonkers. And I'm telling you, there are people on the take from Russian oligarchs. I know this. Not that I have the facts, I don't have the receipts, but you can connect the damn dots, right? The fact that the Pope, I'm gonna go on my Sinead O'Connor thing in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
About that picture. The Pope is saying, Ukraine, you should surrender. I'm like, what? Why isn't the Pope saying, Russia, you need to stop attacking? You know why? Because there's some Russian oligarch that's got some dirt on the Catholic Church, or they've got
Mhm.
some kind of sway, or they're giving money, and he's now a puppet. So that's what I have to say to that. So there's disinformation. There's tons. I'm 100. There was Russian interference in the elections. There's Russians bots that are sending disinformation out here about what's happening in Ukraine. That Ukraine they're Nazis and they're this and that. This is BS. I know Ukraine and I know Ukrainian people, and I'm telling you, this is a real person. Me telling you this. So, and I'm not on the take from anybody. So. All right, so get out there and vote. Thank off my soapbox now. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks you guys for voting. You know, really, the voting is just your voice. Make your voice heard. It's important, especially you young people, you youngsters out there. If you're younger than me, I'm turning 60 this year. If you're younger than me, you people of the younger generation who's younger than 60, you're the ones that are going to live with the consequences. I'll live another 20, 30 years maybe, right? You guys have got a long
50,
life.
60. Come on. Don't depress us.
I know. They're gonna replace the cones in my eyes. I'll be able to see all the colors. We'll bring it back around again. All right, you guys. Have a have a great evening, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you have a great evening. I'll see you next week. I'll be coming at you from Phoenix. Who's our guest next week? Do we know?
Tune in and find out.
Tune in and find out. It'll be somebody from Power Wonders. Maybe it's Honoreo. We haven't had him on. He's been on vacation.
Yeah, I
Oh my
know.
God, he goes on Sam's vacation. Now he's in New York right now. You know that?
I do know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in New York. So I'm coming to New York. I didn't even tell you, Love Witch. I'm coming to New York for Reader
You told
Studio.
me.
Oh, I did totally tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be coming to
But I
Reader
can't wait.
Studio.
I'm so excited.
All right. I can tell you guys though. I'm going to be at Reader Studio in New York on end of April, April 24th, 25th, whatever that weekend is. Come to Reader Studio. There are great classes, great workshops. There's still tickets available. My friend James Devine, who's the palmist, and I will be doing a class on mixing tarot with other divination modalities to come up with something new. You'll get some practice. It's like a real hands-on workshop. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So new ways of working with your tarot cards is gonna be a lot of fun. So, and anybody that's in Phoenix, come to I Can Do It this coming weekend. I'm gonna be there. This is the Hay House Festival. So, all right, enough plugging. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, sale on Oracle decks and Tarot decks. Fortune Teller is your code to get 15% off. Coven members, you get 20% off. Look for your code in the Coven feed. Is that it?
I think that's it. We'll see you
Okay.
guys next
Bye,
week.
everybody.